Right, apologies. Yet again, I was trying to get my camera sorted because I'm just like definitely not prepared. I ordered an absolute ruckload of that nickel strip the other day. I tried to order some on AliExpress and they let me down. They cancelled the shipment and they were messing me around, and I've been waiting like 2 weeks for it. So I canned AliExpress and I went to Alibaba, where you have to order stuff in bulk, really. Though you can have a little search and you can find stuff that you can find people that will give you a smaller order, basically. But the minimum I could find that I could see was 100% nickel, and I actually trusted the people, was 5 kilograms. So I've ordered 5 kilograms, which is around about, I don't know, it's something like 450 metres of 0.15 by 8 mil, I think. Yeah, man. The thing is with Alibaba, AliExpress, you have to deal with that. You have to deal with that long period. If you go to Alibaba and you're willing to just buy bulk, it's like, you know, the shipping does cost money as well, to be fair. But it depends what your plan is with it and what you're going to do and how much you're using and stuff like that. So I'm starting to build a lot of batteries now. So, and I'm using that stuff. So it's like the shipment's like 5 days guaranteed, DHL Express. So it's going to be here, even though he said it was like a 10 or 12 day preparation because they have to actually cut it and stuff in their factory. But kind of like, I said, look, I'm going to pay you right this second. Can you get on it right away? And they were actually, well, she, as it were, she was quite, the lady was quite good, and she was like, I'll put it straight through and I'll get it through as quick as possible for you. So hopefully, I reckon maybe 10 days or something, 2 weeks, and it'll be here, which is going to be better than reordering it from AliExpress, because you're just talking another 60 days then, and I can't be waiting that long. I've got stuff to build, like, so I ain't having that. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I've ordered, I've ordered a lot of it. Yeah, all the one size as well. But I'll probably sell some as well. I say that all the time, and I've got loads of stuff sitting in this room that I need to sell because I've ordered like bulk of it, which is just ridiculous. But excuse me, just grabbing a drink. Hopefully you can all hear me. It seems like the level's good on my system, the meter anyway. So hopefully I'm good. So, let's crack on, because it's going to be quite a quick one tonight. I'm just going to get in and build this battery, basically. I'll show you what I've been doing. I've been building... This is what we're going to do tonight. I've been building these the last couple of days. They are these little slim Makita batteries with only 5 cells inside. But equivalent to the usual Makita, which is something like that, which is a 5 amp. I've got this down as a 5 amp hour, but your standard Makita stuff, this size, this is what they do a 3 amp hour in. They do a 3 amp hour in this size, which is, you know, twice 10 cells. So you're talking an extra, like, it's double the weight basically of this. But I've done this as a 3 amp hour. So half the weight, reduction in size, and it's still a 3 amp hour. It's not that bigger 3 amp hour. And I'm using these cells. So I'm using the VTC6 from Sony Murata VTC6 cells, which are 3000 milliamp hour cells, 20 amps maximum discharge. I've ordered from a couple of, I've always ordered from Fogstar, but I've tried, I checked, someone told me about 18650.uk, and I've read a couple of reviews, and The reviews seem quite quite decent. They all said that this guy who runs this place is really decent and helpful. So I always order from Fogstar. I've ordered most of my stuff recently from Fogstar, but I thought I'd give them a try, and I did. Although I love Fogstar because they've got like WhatsApp and you can just message them and stuff, and they're really easy. Like I ordered the wrong cells the other day. I just messaged them and said, "Oh, can I don't live that far from them." So I was like, "Can I just come in and swap them?" She's like, "Yeah, fine, no worries." And it's just on WhatsApp. You get a straight answer. You don't have to send an email and wait ages for it. Fogstar are decent. They are decent. But I just tried this 18650 guy, and I actually asked him a couple of questions about the cell because I was going to use 30 Qs, but and let me get this right because I always spout numbers and stuff, and they're just like I'll just try and remember them off the top of my head, and I always get the bloody numbers wrong. Sorry, the numbers wrong. I said I wouldn't. I'll try not to swear tonight. I apologise. So the 30 Qs have a maximum continuous discharge of 15 amps, which I always thought, for some reason in my head, 30 Qs were like a 20 amp discharge, but they're not. They're 15 amp discharge. It doesn't say anything else in the documentation about driving it any harder than that. 15 amps at 25 degrees. Now there might be some other document somewhere that says you can push it above that. That's max continuous. So the max discharge for pulsing, maybe actually, it probably is larger than that for larger than 15 amps for the 30Q. But that's what I was using, 3000 milliamp hour, 30Qs. So I thought the Sonys are the original cells that I'm finding in the older Makitas. So I thought I need to have a look because I was a bit like 15 amp, and I know those Samsung 15Qs, which are in the original Makita batteries, like this one. See, 3 amp hour. 3 amp hour. Yeah, the original 15Qs that are in the newer Makita packs, which are like this. They're like a light green colour, 1500 milliamp hour cells. These ones, these 15Qs are, I think, if I remember rightly, they are a 20 amp hour discharge, I believe. Yeah, I think they're a 20 amp hour discharge. 20 amp discharge, sorry. So, I thought, even though it says 15 max continuous, I was just trying to match it as close as possible, and it was quite encouraging that those Sonys used to be used in the Makitas anyway. So I thought, let's get rid of this. I thought I'm going to have a look at them VTC6s. I looked at the 6As, they're a bit more expensive, and not really, there was something about them that was just and it was more than what I needed, and I didn't need to spend the extra money. But VTC6s, these are continuous maximum discharge of 30 amps with a temperature cut, with an 80 degree temperature cut. So if the cell gets above 80 degrees, I'm guessing that means that this battery will just actually stop outputting. I don't know how it does that, but anyway, I'm not going to question that. Yeah, and it's 15 amps under 80 degrees, so I don't foresee these getting to 80 degrees in these packs really. Find out, I guess, but they have got a 30 amp maximum discharge, so it is in the paperwork basically, and 15 under 80 degrees. So this just seemed like a better cell of choice. And I spoke to the guy at 18650 and said, I'm building these packs, I'm thinking about using a VTC6 instead of a 30Q, what's your thoughts? And he actually came back, decent guy, came back with an email and said, like, I have a lot of guys building packs for power tools and stuff, and they all using, or the majority of them are using the VTC6s. He said, I think it's a better choice for what you're trying to do because of the discharge. So it just confirmed what I thought. So, therefore, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to order them. So that's what I've been putting in these. VTC6s are in these 3 amp hour packs. Got the little light on the front as well. So I've been, unlike normal streams where I just literally just dive on and build these things for the first time, I've actually built 5 of those small ones now. So I said, and I've built them for a one of my mates ordered 4 from me. Who's a roofer, and he's to be honest, to give him credit, because he's actually the one who said can you do the small packs with 3 amp hours, because he's obviously carrying it around on a roof all day, and he's like half the weight in cells, and it's just like, you know, just less tiresome on the arm and stuff. So if he's just constantly using it, constantly changing batteries, it should be the same charge time, and same charge time as the bigger one. It should be the same capacity. It may be a little lower, I'm foreseeing, but you know, it's not gonna. I don't foresee it to be much different. And he said, like, yeah, just and he ordered 4 off me, so that's the ones I've been building at the moment. And I've built 1 for myself, so, and 1 for another guy actually. So yeah, I'm just gonna crack on and get into the build. It's gonna be a quick one tonight. I'm not gonna be hanging around because I've got to pop out as well. So this is the build. I'm not gonna be messing about and nattering like I always do and like drag it on for like an hour. I'm gonna try and just crack this out in the time it takes me to do it, which has been about the ones I've done, it's been about 20 minutes to half an hour, I suppose, to get it done. Sort of getting in the swing of it now. So let's just crack on with it. Yeah, if you've got any questions, fire them away in the chat and I will try to answer them. So 5 cells in series. I've popped these paper caps on the end of them as well, just for the you know, just for a bit of protection on that end. I always pop paper caps on them. These things, just paper rings, insulating paper, fish paper, whatever you want to call it. Barley paper, some people call it. So positive is at the back end here of the battery, like that. That's the positive end. This is the positive side, which we can see here as I drop that on. You can actually see positive markings, if you can see that. Might be a bit blurred, but yeah, positive and negative. So that leads back to this side, which is the positive at the top here, and that's our main positive here in that corner, and this is our negative down the bottom end, and there it is. So just a quick double check before we start. Starts off at the negative, down, positive, neg. Just in series, they just swap all the way through. You know, you got it in the right order, straight through. There we go, bish bash bosh. Put that there, put that there. If anyone orders these off AliExpress, here's a tip for you. If you want to build these, you order the, especially I think the bigger ones, they've actually changed it and started putting a self-tapping screw in, but they send these with them. And they used to send these with the bigger ones as well, the bigger Makita packs, and they're just a straightforward, like, screw basically, or you know, bolt or whatever you want to call it. It's crap anyway. It's useless. It doesn't actually do, like the original Makitas are like this. So I just ordered a load of these off AliExpress. They're like £1.10 for 100 or something. Yes, I waited like 2 weeks to get them, but they're like a, you probably can't tell on this shot anyway, they're like a self-tapping compared to these, which are just a straightforward thread like. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that, maybe you can. You just about see it there, it's a bit blurry but still. Yeah, so this is the one you want, the self-tapping. So I just ordered some of them. This is where I got them from. It's actually called, this is the name of the store on AliExpress, and their model number for them, and they're just like self-tappers, and they are 3 M3s by 12mm, and they're spot on. They are exactly what you need for these battery packs, and for these battery packs, that's what I used on this one today as well. They're pretty much the same as the ones that come out of the Makita. Much better, much better. They actually do the job instead of just being completely useless. Right, so let's have a look which way around these goes. So this goes on top of here, clips in there. You just kind of have to measure these out, whereabouts they go. All of these ones are the same. They're the same length on both sides. There's only one of these balance connectors, or like basically parallel bank, although it's not a parallel bank, is it, on this? But yeah, these balance connectors. The only short one like that, you can see the length of them is different. This is the only short one, and it goes on the back, right next to the negative on the last balance connection. Right there, you can see it because you can see the difference in the spacing when it goes to the board. This is like a long down to the board, and this is the short one. This is the only one. All of these are just the same, so they'll go anywhere. Drop that battery. Yeah, so and then just pop all the others in. This tends to be the fiddliest part because you just have to kind of drop them all in and then tape it down after. Alright, that's what I've been doing, just taping it down and then spot welding them while it's in place, basically, just to make sure they're all in the right position. Which is not. And then once they're all spot welded, you just once all the tabs are spot welded, then you can go around to soldering. Yeah. I'm going to put some tape on that straight away. Where's my tape? I'm just using this tape as if I knock it with a soldering iron. This is just capped on tape. It's like a heat resistant tape. Yeah, stuff's taking ages from AliExpress at the moment, apparently. To be honest, I say that stuff's taking ages. Some of the guys on Vortex's forum are reporting that stuff's taking ages. I haven't had a bad one yet, but I'm foreseeing this new e-bike motor kit that I've got coming. I'm foreseeing it taking a while, to be honest. But I'm in no rush for it, so I'm not really that fussed. I've got other stuff to be building while I'm waiting for it. So you can see I've just whacked a bit of Kapton tape on it to hold that board down, which holds all of these connectors in place, just stops them all falling around. Okay, so let's screw me, fix up my spot welder onto the battery. Yeah, some of the guys have been experiencing long ship times in AliExpress. I haven't experienced any of it at the moment. All of my stuff has been less than a month, I'd say, so far. So it's all been alright. But they're using the AliExpress, and mainly using the ones I've had are using the standard China Post. It does take a while, but like I say, I've not been experiencing. I don't think I've had anything that's been more than like a month at the moment. It's all been alright for me, even since lockdown started. I haven't had anything that's really taken a long time. Well, I don't recall it really taking too long, you know. I'd have remembered it and gone like, oh god, that just took ages, I'm not ordering that again from there or whatever. But I don't think I have, so I think it's all been alright, to be honest. Yeah, the Alibaba, they're using DHL Express, so, but, you know, it's like, what's the DHL? I can't remember. It was about $100 to DHL Express. But when you work out the price of the strip, the nickel strip, even with the postage, I'm ordering 5 kilograms, even with the postage, it still works out to be about, I think it's like 20 or 25 times cheaper than what I can get it on like eBay and stuff, or anywhere decent. It's like just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, the cost of it, you know what I mean? It's like if you're building a lot of batteries, which I am starting to do now, I'm like looking at starting to build a fair amount of batteries. I'm just going to double check this before I start. That is the positive in the top end, yes. Last positive through to the neg, back, down, up, down. That's the negative right there. This is the positive. Yes, that's right. That's all good. Let's start spot welding. Yeah, it's like you know, if you're doing a lot of stuff, then there's no issue with ordering bulk. You're only going to spend that money over like 12 months anyway, so why not just order it? You know. Yeah, I suppose it depends for some people if they've actually got the money to get it ordered, you know, at the time, you know. So it is different for some people, I guess. You know, some people can't do that, but you know, that's where I come in as well, because people who can't do that and can't afford to do that, guys on the forum and stuff, I'll just go like, hey, I've got some, I'll sell it, yeah, and I'm not gonna like sell it for extortion amounts and stuff. Do you know what I mean? I'm just gonna cover what I've paid for it and stuff. Like I dropped some stuff off to Azzy near me, and I was just like, mate, just freaking take it, you know what I mean? It's like skin off my nose. Ordered that stuff anyway, and some bits are just cheap, you know, and it's just like, I've got more than I need, I'm not going to use it. Like I gave him some foam and some other bits and stuff, and I was just like, take it away. This stuff is crazy sparks, man. It's obviously not pure nickel, well, clearly, but like some frightening sparks coming out of this today. So I'll just put a quick 2 on each one, and just to get these in place, and then I'll go over them again with the actual and just fully spot weld them basically. Just get more welds on them. Just do a quick 1 for now. Some rogue sparks, like looking like they were going to set me for carpet on fire earlier. Oh, this is the only part of this. I don't know. I suppose I could question the board. I don't really know much about the board, the circuit board I've used. But the only part that I question about these batteries is the nickel. Which seems really thin for what it is, you know. But we'll see how they work out. I don't think it's going to be terrible for them, like, but they must have. You would hope that they spec'd it up in some regard at least, but or I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't seem like awful, but I'm a bit dubious of it. I want to see the results. Do you know what I mean? Which is also the good thing why my mate's ordered these off me, because he's kind of helping me out as well, to be honest, because I'm he's gonna be using them, you know, gonna get some good use. There's a roof ass, so he's going to get some good use. That one slipped there. I'm going to have another one on that. He's going to get some good use out of them, you know. Probably work them hard, so it's going to be good to find out how they cope with it and how the charge handles and stuff with the 3 ampere, with the 5 cells, things like that. So good to get some reports back. Obviously, I'm going to have one, and I'm probably going to use it, but I'm not going to use it as often as he does, like so. A CNC machine to help build batteries, either bike or Makita. In what respects do you to build what part of the battery style? You're talking like CNC to actually carve out the cases or the holders, or you're talking about the nickel, like actually stamping nickel or cutting nickel, or which element are you talking about? Oh, I'll tell you one thing I have discovered today, which I'm quite gutted about, but it's not the end of the world. It is what it is. It's a good lesson of why you should be more responsible and care about your Lipo batteries. Where are they? Where have I put them? Oh God, it's just the same every time, isn't it? I go like, where is it? Where have I put it? Oh, there it is. I ran this when I first got this spot welder, I ran it off lipos, and it was 2 lipos in parallel, these two to be precise, because it needed like a 5,000 milliamp hour lipo. And I thought about it the other day. I haven't used these for a while because I've just been using the car battery because it's just straight there, simple, you know, whatever. I don't need both. And these were about flipping 40, 45 quid each, or something like that, 50 quid each maybe. I had these in parallel, they're actually like brand new. I've used them like twice or something, and I realised that I'd left them fully charged. I hadn't discharged them down to storage voltage, and they've been sitting there for God knows how long. Thankfully, they've been sitting in this LiPo bag. How much that would have helped, I'm not too sure. But I always keep, if I've got LiPo, I had a drone license at one time. I did my full drone license, so I was flying drones, and I used to, all my LiPos, man. It's like part of the code when you're actually licensed. You have to keep all your LiPos. You have to they have to be in storage containers and everything when you're outside. So I've always kept LiPos kind of in containers and stuff, so that's one saving grace, I suppose. But they've started to bloat anyway. Look, it's like the gas is starting to release inside them. They're bloating on both sides. It only feels like air pockets, but that is just not worth risking. These things just go up like crazy, basically. So I'm a bit gutted about that, and I think it's because I left them fully charged. That's why they've started bloating. So basically, they're just knackered. I'm going to cut the connectors off them, probably both. I'll probably cut the balance and those connectors off them because there's a couple of good XT60s on them. Chop them off, and I'm going to have to take them down the tip and dispose of them at the battery recycle tomorrow, I think. So back in the LiPo bag for tonight and disposed of tomorrow. A bit gutted about that because it's like flipping £90 to £100 worth of batteries, but you live and learn. I won't do that again because that was just a numpty move. Anyway, spot welding. No. Thought hasn't even crossed my mind, to be honest. Spot welding on a CNC. It's just, yeah, it's not something I need to be doing at the moment. I'm just kind of building stuff myself, and yeah, even if I'm building these drill batteries, if I sat down and did a full day's work, let's call it 8 hours, I could probably do like 16, 18, 20 of these little batteries maybe. Bigger ones I could probably do like, 10 or 12 or something. So if it's just me doing stuff and selling to people I know or whatever, just for a bit of extra dough, then it's not needed really. But I have considered other things. I'm actually talking to a Chinese company about nickel stuff, because I'm not sure whether you're in the staff group, Dale, but I'm not sure who else is here, if there's anyone anyway. But anyone who is in the staff group is here. I've started building a 250 watt street legal, kind of like ladies' city bike, step over. Just to see, because I went into Halfords and saw loads of these. They've got such a range of e-bikes now. I was like, what's going on here? Like, I've never seen all this stuff before. And I was like, okay, now we're starting to get e-bikes everywhere. So I looked at their city bikes for ladies. They're 250 watt. They do one for 650 quid. God knows what cells are in it. Probably cheap crap cells, unnamed, that don't last 2 seconds, and it's like a 7 amp hour battery or something, and it's a no-name motor. It's a good entry thing, I suppose, for someone who just wants. It's probably going to be all right. But then the decent level stuff that I've seen is like £1,000. Starts at 1,000 for a lady's city bike step over with a rear rack mounted battery, and it's only an 8 amp hour. It does say that it uses LG or Samsung cells, and it is a Bafang. The front motor is a Bafang 250 watt, so it's a decent motor. But they start at £1,000. I'm looking at it, and I reckon I can build. This is the process I'm going through at the moment. I'm going to build one and just see how much it costs me. But I reckon I can build it cheaper anyway, definitely. and then I can sell it on and maybe make like, I don't want to make loads of money off it. I just want to, if I can build one in a couple of days and make like £100, especially at the moment because I've got no flipping work. It's just like, for those who do know and those who don't know, either I work in the live events industry, so there's a good chance that I'm not going to be at work until, well, God knows, who knows when live events are going to come back. No one knows. That's a problem at the moment. Everyone in the live events industry is just shafted at the moment. We are currently the forgotten industry. Everyone just thinks those live events happen, like bands just turn up, or people turn up to large scale conferences and exhibitions and stuff, and they just kind of walk in and everything's there, but it ain't like that. People from the live events industry spend days and days setting that stuff up, and planning takes weeks and all that stuff, you know what I mean? So it's like, and we're just like, it's just forgotten about it. Like, it's just like, oh, there's no concerts. It's like, yeah, do you know how many, and the majority is freelance people. It's like, do you know how many freelancers are out of work and not getting any help from the government, and have been since the start of March? Yeah, it's bad, man. Bad. So it's kind of a bit of a shady time for me as well, so I'm just trying to find things just to make ends meet, really. So that is one of my thoughts, building a 250 watt street legal kind of ladies bike, you know, just for around the town riding, for those people who are maybe a little bit you know, either less able to ride, a little older, or, you know, just can't do much of that anymore and need assistance on a bike like that. The 250 watt is just perfect for those sort of people. Can't ride up big hills, you know what I mean? Just a nice little 250, and try and do a good quality one for a decent price, instead of them spending like £1,000 to £1,200 or something. Or some of them in there, like one of them's like, there's the rally one in there, which it looks good and everything, but it's like, it's £2,000. It's like, how many people have got £2,000 just to spend on a 250 watt city bike? I mean, it's crazy, really. Anyway, just nattering and mumbling now and on. But that's my plan. I'm just looking at building something and seeing if I can sell it, just to, if I can make a quick, you know, if I can make £100 and I can build one in a couple of days. No, it's just, that's ends meeting money, basically. So yeah, I'm also building I've got a jumbo sharp pack that I'm going to build, which is a 91 cell pack, and I'll be selling that as well. That's going to be a 48 volt e-bike pack. So it's going to be, I think it's 13S7P, is it? And it's decent because I've got Samsung 35Es for it, so they're 3500 milliamp hour cells. Yeah, I think it's decent. It's good. It's good for up to 1,000 watt motor anyway, and it's like a 24.5 amp hour battery. And I've seen them online, and not that many amp hours, not the same amp hour, and they're like selling for like £500, just under £500, £450 or something like that. I reckon I can do it for loads cheaper than that. So we'll see what happens, I guess. You know, see if I can sell a couple or something. You know, make a couple of quid and all that. Anyway, back to this battery, this little beauty. So I'm just popping a bit of flux on all the balance connection. That's all that's left to do. All the spots are done, either side. It's all in. So this is the flux I'm using. This is the flux I always use on like electronic stuff. It is RMA 218 Kingbo. Can get this off Amazon. Does take a while to come, but it is good stuff, and it's this stuff is just decent for electronic stuff. I can't remember where I saw it. I think I saw it on Tronics Fix channel. He's a guy who does loads of fix-it things on handhelds and stuff. And I think I saw it on his channel first when he was doing a reball of maybe a PS4 or something. Yeah, but it's decent stuff. It's decent. It just lasts forever for me as well anyway. Got to have a good bit of flux to get your solder flowing, you know what I mean? I want to do this a little bit higher maybe so you can actually see what I'm doing. So I'm going to try. Although maybe that box with loads of batteries in is not the best place to put it on top of, so I'll tell you what, I'll take the batteries out of it first, things like that. Sounds like a better idea, doesn't it? And there. It's not that much higher, is it, I suppose, but you may be able to see it a bit better. I'm just thinking about them. Solder flying onto the wraps, really. I should just not be lazy and put those in a box somewhere. And I do happen to have a lot of these battery boxes from Foxstar, so I can just put them in there, can't I? Keep them safe. Keep them safe. So I'm going to do some live streams with the 250 build and stuff. Especially definitely the battery. I've never done a rear luggage rack battery before. I will be live streaming that build. Same with the 91 cell jumbo sharp pack. I will live stream that build. I'm going to be here anyway as usual, so I might as well live stream it. Just a quick look at this as well. Look, this is a Ryobi pack that I've got as well, which I'm doing for my stepdad actually. And using Samsung 25Rs in that. So that's a 5 amp hour. So just, yeah, I need to finish off the cabling to the positive and negative and stuff, and do some little lead wires out to the balance connections and stuff. But that's I've just spot welded the pack together today, so that's coming on. I've got a half size one of those coming. I may live stream that one actually, which is it's kind of the same as this. It's a 5 cell instead of a 10. So I may live stream that build once I've done that one and I know how the wiring works with all, because they are quite fiddly and there's no one done a live stream on it because you have to actually run cables across the board to the positive and negative and stuff. So I need to have a look at it just about ampage and what wire gauge I need to use and stuff. So. Yeah, spot welding CNC. There's no need for me doing that at the moment, really. There is just no need for me to do that. It's just, yeah. That's a big old operation if you've got spot welding CNC, to be honest. Does that feel like it's not running as good as it was earlier? It's probably my iron filthied up, that is. That's what that is. That is my iron filthied up. Yeah, it is. Let's try and get a bit of... got some little bits of silicon and a silicon mat over there, which I should have brought over here really, which is ideal for just knocking solder around on, because silicon doesn't melt until God knows what temperature. So you can roll the soldering iron around on it. Got a little bit of I don't think I've got it here. I did have a little bit of sandpaper just to rub the end of this tip on and get the crap off it, but I don't think it's here. Alright, let's try like this. Let's try again. Need a fair bit of solder on these ends. Just make sure it's not a dry joint. It's just sitting nicely on there. Perfect. I'll bring these up close after just to show you, but you can see what I'm doing. Well, you can kind of see what I'm doing. All I'm doing is soldering those little tabs for the just soldering those little tabs for the balance and the main positive and negative. That's what I mean. See that Kapton tape? Just heat resistant. If you do catch it with the, you know, I could have put like electrical tape on there and it'd just get messy as hell. If you catch that Kapton tape, that's why it's just decent to use when you're soldering, if you're holding something or anything like that. Just some of that Kapton tape. Just resists the heat of the iron if you happen to just accidentally touch it. Tape won't just break on you. Yes, I need an extraction fan. Yes, I am building one myself. Yes, I haven't done it yet. Yes, I do need to get around to doing it. So all those are done. 1, 2, 3, 4 balance connections. Just the main negative now. I'm done. Just put a solder on there and just lead it down. So one thing about building all these batteries and e-bike batteries and stuff, I've got back into a bit of soldering, which I haven't done for years and years. It's just a nice little skill to keep up on, really. It's never the best solder in the world, but I feel I am getting better the more I do. Got any soldering tips that you want to fire at me? Please feel free. Right, don't do that with your iron, do this for your iron. This is what you should do, whatever. I'm kind of say self-taught. Does anyone teach soldering? I suppose you do, but yeah, so I should really clean the flux off that. Let's just show you first. So you go. You see the connections just around there. Where is it? There, at the end of my finger, right there. See, there's a bit of flux on there. So all I'm going to do is I have some isopropyl alcohol in a little spray bottle, which is not going to do this circuit board any harm whatsoever. So I'm firstly going to cut the caps on. Your pack pretty much done. Just needs casing up and the little battery tester button thingy, just meter button, just putting into place, which I'll do in a second. But just a little. It's not going to hurt the components. Just squirting that on there. It's fine. It's fine. I've got a little brush. Look, little anti-static type brush that I use. You can really just do that, spray some on there and rub that on it. And then just rub it over that, get some of that flux off. No major shakes. But it's nice to clean up your work. Some excess on there. Blowing on it, alcohol just evaporates off. Ooh, and it sends me head all funny. It was a bit weird. I don't know whether that was just me blowing or the alcohol wafting up my nose at the same time. So here's the little battery tester button. What you do, I found, is there's like two little kind of like bits that lock in at the end there. You can see those two little tabs. So put that end in first and just slide that down there. And you just need something hard, preferably plastic. You don't want to be poking metal around there. And just click it into place like that. There you go. It gives you your little tester light. These cables just get run down the track down the side here. So they'll come down the plastic bit there. So let's just do that quickly. I don't put them in any particular order, as in one first or whatever, because one's slightly longer than the other, but I just put them in and bend them round. I will show you once I've dropped them in. Just kind of go around the side there. The light is coming on because all you need to do is short them with the skin of your finger and the light comes on. Obviously that's all it is, it's just shorting those two connections to give you the reading. So there we go. That's all they are. They're just directed around that corner piece. I don't know if you can see that or not. Just get them in there. And this little piece just clips in. Doesn't actually clip in as in fixed, but it does just kind of clips over the board and around the side piece at the same time. That's it. That's the one. All it does, it's just like a little light tunnel. It directs the light from all four LEDs down into the areas of the stick that I got the transparency on them, basically. So that is shallot. Drop it in. Spring goes at the back, and the spring is that little round piece. That's where the spring goes for the actual, your release button. This sits on top of that. Pushes up and down when it's inside. That is it. It's built. There's the thing about these batteries, and there is just a little tiny screw which goes on the board. There should be two of these by rights, but they never put two in, they only put one in, and I always put it down the front end because it just keeps that little LED part in place. And there is another hole at the back if you've got one of those screws and put it in, but it doesn't move around anyway, so it's solid. It doesn't need one, to be honest, it just stays where it is, but you know, it's there. I lock it in and I lock it in so this doesn't move around. So I'll put the screw in this end usually. Yeah, so that's that. It's ready to go on. Button goes in, like so. Drop it over the top. Now there is a little bit in the middle that's kind of making this, so it flexes one way or another, but the plastic does seat properly when you do it. It just feels like it's slightly bending one side, but it is a little bit of a design flaw in the centre, to be honest, in the centre of these packs. But I left one overnight and I took it out just to see if there was any like denting, even on the wrap, like even a slight denting on the wrap, to see if there was any unneeded pressure on the actual cell or anything, and there wasn't. So I'm quite happy that it's, even though it's just a little sizing error, maybe can't expect that much from these third-party packs, third-party cases, should I say? Yeah, so it seems fine, so I've left it, and all I do is I'm using these self-tapping screws that I've got from AliExpress. I'll just bang the first one in, and I'll just cross So I'll do this one and then do the opposite corner at the back, just to kind of equal the pressure out as I'm screwing it down. See, that actually locks tight. The ones that they send you, these crap ones, they don't actually lock. They just keep spinning when you get to the bottom. They're rubbish. I've messaged the seller, and to be fair, he said I messaged him and I said, these are rubbish. What you need is these, and I sent him to the link of the ones I bought and the size, and he said, okay, we're going to change it over. So, you know, can't believe no one's said anything to him before and just put up with crap screws. It's just like, he just kind of agreed with me. He went, oh yeah, great, okay, we're looking to change them over. So hopefully the next batch I get, or another batch in a couple of months' time, they've actually changed the screws over. Jesus, I mean, the screw company's probably down the road from, you know what I mean? So send the right screws. They must have looked at a Makita pack and gone like, oh, we should send these ones, you know what I mean? It's like, we should send the ones that are actually come with a Makita pack, even though the ones with a Makita are they are security torque heads, which is just like, you know, it's obvious, isn't it? It's like, don't open up our batteries, just buy another one. It's one of those things. They're just freaking muppets. People just crack them open anyway. It's like people can't get hold of security torques. It's like idiots. Anyway, they just want you to buy more batteries, don't they? That's it. One battery, done. Oh, let's do this part, sorry, not done. What I do with these as well is, it's just a little bit of plastic. This little press button, this little button that pushes onto the board in the back. You can see that, but yeah, it's just a little bit of plastic with a round button on. And it's a bit too tight to start with, like it's just pressing it down all the time. So what I do is just bend it up slightly like that. You can see that. No, you can't see that. It's just looking at black plastic, which doesn't really help. But yeah, I'll just put my prizing tool underneath it. It lifts it up, and just drop it back down, and then it works. And it's just, the button is just a bit better like that. Here's your little sticker. Here's something else I noticed with these. The sticker is actually like a square. It doesn't fit it doesn't fit on this plastic properly. There's the round bit on the corner of the plastic. You just have to nick it to get the sticker in. And just take the corner off. That's all it is. Just rounding it out basically. It's nothing. It's just like in fact, you really need to do it. It's just me being picky. But that's me. So there you go. Put the sticker on. These stickers, they're all right on the little packs. They do fit better on the two high packs, on the 10 cell packs, to be honest. They're not a great fit on these. May require just a little dab of super glue in the corners maybe at some point. I don't know. I'll see how they go. See how they go. Seems alright though. Here it is. Lovely. The final check is get your Makita charger and pop it in. That's it. It's charging. Usually if you're going to get an error on these, it's in the first sort of less than the first 10 seconds. If it's charging for more than 10 seconds, it's usually fine. Which that is, so that's it. Lovely job. I'm not going to charge them. I haven't charged any of them because, as we've learned earlier today, and I've told you, doesn't matter what type of lithium cell it is, whether it's these metal can cells or whether it's a Lipo, lithium polymer like a RC cell. You shouldn't store them or keep them. Well, these aren't going to be stored for long enough, so it probably wouldn't matter, but you shouldn't store them with a full voltage because it's just not good for the battery. These ones, it's not so bad, but it's just not good for the cell life either. So I'm just going to leave those at their delivered storage, which is what they've delivered voltage, which is what they've been stored in for a long time. So that's it. Done. Any questions? Give them now. If not, that is the end. I think that's my quickest stream ever. 55 minutes, and I was rabbiting. So if I cut the rabbit in, I could have probably got it down to half an hour. Hey ho, it's good. It's fine. Under an hour's okay. Yeah, so all other questions or comments, obviously just leave them when the video's uploaded. That's fine, and I'll answer them for you if I can. I'll also put the link to where I'm getting the. I'll put the link to where I'm getting the stuff from. I'll put a link to Fogstar. Wholesale is worth it, man. Fogstar Wholesale. 18650.uk has a wholesale site as well. Fogstar. You have to order over £65 worth of cells to get to be able to order off their wholesale site, and it is worth it because the cells are so much cheaper. It's worth getting together with friends and just buying cells, just like doing orders. 18650, you have to buy a minimum of 20 cells of any type, basically. So you can't buy like 20-30 Qs and then buy 5 VT6s, for instance. You have to buy 20-30 Qs and 20 VT6s. But, and I don't know whether the guy at 18650 wholesale or 18650.uk wants me to actually say this or not, but I'm going to say it anyway. I messaged him and said, look mate, I want to buy 30 of these and 5 of these, and he said, yeah, don't do it via the website, I'll just send you an invoice. And he did, and he was good as gold, and he seems solid, and I have no doubt they're decent cells, and he's definitely a decent bloke. So definitely worth speaking to, and they are. That's the thing. Fogstar at 65 quid, so you can order one of every different type of battery, and as long as you spend 65 quid, it doesn't matter. Whereas 18650, it's different. You have to order a minimum of 20 of a type of cell, or yeah. So. Although 18650, I found them to be on my average order. It was the last order I did, they were about £5 cheaper over 30 cells, I think, something like that I ordered. Over 30 cells, they're about £5 cheaper than Fogstar. Which, you know, I don't know, one or the other, they're both decent. So yeah, anyway, I digress. I'll leave the links for the batteries where I bought them from, Fogstar and 18650. You can make your choice. They're both decent. They're both selling genuine cells. They are the place in the UK to get them from, as far as I'm concerned. I'll leave the links to the AliExpress store that I get these from, which I believe is either the guy who manufactures them or close to, because it's kind of the official store for these. There's a lot of other stores selling their products, so I just traced it back to the main store. And what else is there? Yeah, I think that's the only links. I'll leave the links to the screws as well, because if they don't sort them out and you do want to order these are the screws to be ordering. I'll leave you a link for that as well. I'll type it in. I'll edit the description after. Anyway, yeah, 58 minutes, coming up to an hour. Bang on. Love it. Let's finish it before an hour. Right. Thanks a lot. Take it easy. See you later.